The Yale Law School professors canceling 31 classes on Monday as students protested Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh. Some students dressed in all black. They staged sit-ins on campus while others went to Capitol Hill. Organizers calling Kavanaugh, a Yale Law School alum, a real threat to the country. So is this what should be happening at one of the country's leading law schools? Here with some insight is editor-in-chief for Campus Reform, Lawrence Jones. Lawrence, what was your reaction to this?
Well, the first thing was, these are law students. These are people, young people that are going to be our next lawyers, justice, jurists. And they don't understand, based on from the professors teaching them about due process, they don't understand the right to face your accuser. They don't understand innocent until proven guilty. And so this is the type of nonsense that we've been reporting on the Leadership Institute, Campus Reform, where there is clear indoctrination to these kids. And it's not just that school. We reported on Mississippi State. They released some classes as well. But guess what? When one of our reporters went to cover their event, the majority of the people that were there protesting were the faculty members and the professors. They wanted to have a moment of silence and pray for the accused.
Do you think Yale will be fair? Will they now have classes, will they cancel classes for those people who are in support of Brett Kavanaugh?
They probably won't. This is definitely a political agenda, and this really is consistent with what we've been reporting on at Campus Reform about what's happening on the college campuses. They don't believe in due process. Remember the UVA case and the Rolling Stones case, the rape allegations. They released an article without doing fact-checking, without an investigation, and guess what? They got it wrong, and they have to pay these boys. This is a narrative that's happening on the college campuses where they don't want this due process, and they're destroying our constitutional rights as Americans.
Well, this is what Yale released. Yale Law School released this statement. Individual faculty rescheduled a number of classes on Monday in order to give the community time to discuss how individuals and groups could work together to make their voices heard during the confirmation process. Are you satisfied with that?
No, I'm not. This is mob rule, and I think every American should be concerned because our legislators now are taking their cues from the college campuses. We reported on this years ago that they don't want people to have a trial. They want this to be tried in the court of public opinion, and we don't get all the facts then.
Okay, Lawrence, thank you for joining us this morning.
Go back. We won't 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 go back.
The people are speaking with their voices, in person, and with their money to say, Senator Collins, vote no, or we will fund your opponent and defeat you. So we are here today to share our stories, our concerns, and we have requested a meeting.
It's time to stop. It's time to stop, okay? No more.
We're here today to protest Brett Kavanaugh's nomination on the Supreme Court. He is a threat to women's rights, reproductive rights, labor rights, along with many other things we believe in. And we're here to stand with women. We're here to stand with Dr. Lizzie Ford and also Deborah Ramirez, who came out with very credible sexual assault allegations against Brett Kavanaugh. And then finally, we're here to protest Yale Law School's complicity in the nomination of Brett Kavanaugh. It's not the kind of person that our school stands for. It's not the what I want to be representative of Yale Law School. And yeah, and as you can see, a lot of people agree with me. A lot of my fellow students are here too and think that our school should stand for something better.
Many women are survivors. I'm a survivor. I couldn't tell because I served under Don't Ask, Don't Tell. And as a out lesbian, that was a problem then. And so there are a number of reasons why women cannot or are afraid to say something, and you cannot hold it against them when they realize that it's either justice or they, again, stay silent. She chose justice, and it's important because she's working for all of us, and it's important for all of us to stand with her.
right to know what your position is on Brett Kavanaugh.
We believe
God bless you, ma'am.
Bless you as well. I really appreciate you. I'm a survivor of sexual assault, ma'am. I believe all survivors. There are now 3 people who have come forward and who have said that Brett Kavanaugh has attacked them. I know that you're close friends with him. Did you talk to him about that? Did you talk to him about his position?
We believe survivors. 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 We believe survivors.
Beto is way hotter than you do.
We believe survivors. We believe survivors. We believe survivors.
God bless you.
Excuse me. Let my wife through.
We believe survivors.
For God,
We believe survivors. 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 Sexist, racist, anti-gay. We believe survivors. We believe survivors. We believe survivors.
Day 3 of Supreme Court nominee Judge Brett Kavanaugh's confirmation hearing is set to kick off 3 hours from right now. But the first 2 days have seen constant interruptions from protesters.
Our next guest went to talk to them all and find out why they oppose Judge Kavanaugh, and you won't believe what happened. Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk joins us now with more. Hey, Charlie.
Good morning.
So the first question you asked them, why do you not like this judge? Let's air a little bit of what you found.
What don't you like most about Kavanaugh?
I'm just here holding the sign.
I just want people to get out to vote this and during the midterms.
Civil rights and justice rights will also be rolled back at an even greater level than they are, and I think those concerns are valid and people are expressing their true fears.
American rights are at stake if this guy gets put on.
That one guy said, I'm just here to hold a sign.
Yeah, I'm just here to hold a sign. You know, I was there for a couple hours, had some very interesting encounters with these far left-wing activists, many of whom were the ones that were disrupting the actual hearings. They wore that as a badge of honor, and I think that they should actually increase and have harsher penalties against these disruptors. I mean, because it's almost as if it's like I get a parking ticket if you interrupt this, and it's on national television. But there was no cohesive message. They were saying things, he's going to roll back human rights.
Where were they getting their talking points?
Well, I mean, from the signs that they were given.
That was it.
That was just about it. And
you're saying it's an AstroTurf crowd.
It sure felt like it. I mean, and there were some people that were genuine there that were, you know, they were typical left-wing activists. But more than not, these were mostly college students that were being told that this will be the worst thing that will ever happen if he, you know, gets put on the Supreme Court. And there was no cohesive message. And I kept on hearing, well, he's going to take all of our rights away. Well, name one. And it was just met with silence.
Well, you did do the interview. You just saw he was outside. You were on the Capitol grounds. And yet, this happened. Watch this.
You're not allowed to come and talk to any of our people.
Just don't talk to them.
I'm kicking you out because you're here putting people on camera.
With their
having
consent?
conversations.
Your right to free speech doesn't trump his.
Okay.
Good for that cop.
Oh, he was.
They tried to kick you out of a public place?
Yeah,
the U.S. Capitol.
He was brilliant. So, you know, they said, well, we're going to have to kick you out. And I said, well, you can bring the Capitol Police over. We can have a conversation about that. Which, here's the funny thing. They're worried about rights being taken away. And the only thing they could think about was trying to take my right to free speech away. Because I was disagreeing with them. Very respectfully, very calmly. I wasn't interrupting anyone. I was having conversations with some of their protesters. And they came in and they said, no, we have to try to get...
What did the Capitol Police say to the protesters when they tried to kick you out of a public place?
You kind of heard a soundbite from it where he said, look, I can't do anything here. Everyone here has a right to assembly. And they kept on saying, well, we have a petition to be here. You know, we have a permit to be here. And I said, a permit is a permission. It's not a permission to discriminate.
You know, that little soundbite right there where she was telling you you had to get it out of there, that she was going to have you ejected. It was reminiscent of some of those things we've seen on college campuses, where it's like, this is our safe space. You cannot invade our safe space, the U.S. Capitol.
Yes, exactly. How dare you disagree with us, sort of. And, like, my presence, just asking questions from a very journalistic point of view, triggered them so much. And this is an interesting point. The nonsense you see happening on college campuses is now going to the higher level. It's very troubling.
I choose to watch it on television.
Yes.
I don't know how you're a very brave man to go into the crowd that you knew wasn't going to like what you had to say.
You got to wear a smile with it, and look, the right to free speech is fundamental to the republic.
I am surprised they allow the public in these hearings.
I know, and they have to get harsher penalties, or else this nonsense will continue.
I think you're probably right. All right, Charlie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You appreciate it.
We believe Debbie Ramirez. We believe Debbie Ramirez. We believe Debbie Ramirez.
And I am speaking out on behalf of my daughters and my friends and my family. Collins needs to make a decision now, not when all the other Republicans back down. She needs to make a decision now when it matters and stand up for us who vote.
It's not worth putting someone who has credible allegations of that kind of violence against them in a seat of lifetime power over the lives of Americans, a majority of whom I believe are women. And that is terrifying to me.
I was 12. I was 12 years old. He was 15. The fact that he was a teenager does not lessen anything, does not minimize the lifelong effects that I've lived with for 46 years. You want details? The details live in my body.
We won't stand idly by as the Senate attempts to repeat the same mistakes that it made with another Yale alumna, Anita Hill. We stand with the countless women who have experienced sexual assault and violence. We are here to say that we are Yale Law School, and Yale Law School does not unequivocally support Brett Kavanaugh. We understand that our law school is a part of a large power structure in which a small group of well-connected and wealthy men run the entire legal landscape. And we are here to say that we oppose the hasty and incomplete process of Brett Kavanaugh's confirmation hearing and demand a fair process and that these women's stories are heard.